Hi, I'm Josiah,
And I'm Colin.
and this is Worth Watching.
Houston, I have a bad feeling about this. Okay, so the movie we'll be reviewing today is Gravity.
It stars George Clooney and Sandra Bullock. It's directed by Alfonso Cuaron. The plot of this movie is you've got these multiple astronauts on the space shuttle. They're hooking up to the Hubble telescope trying to fix some stuff on there. The two main characters are Sandra Bullock and George Clooney. A debris field comes and essentially obliterates their space shuttle. Everything is messed up. They get flown off into space. Sandra Bullock is detached from a line, so she's spiraling off. Essentially, it's up to George Clooney and Sandra Bullock to try to survive in space by themselves with nothing else, and then to make it back to Earth safely.
One of the things I really liked, the CGI was amazing.
Yeah, it was really, really good.
Phenomenal. I've never seen CGI that well done.
I think it was some of the best CGI I've seen in maybe the last 10 years. I mean, there was no moment in the movie where I was like, that's CGI. I mean, the movie opens with like a 15-minute long shot. It's just all one shot, all the way until Sandra Bullock goes spiraling off into space after this disaster. So you set it up, the characters are floating around.
Even when all that, debris comes crashing into their satellites, you're just like, wow, that is amazing.
It's still all one shot, really realistic CGI.
That was cool too, is the fact that it was all one shot. First 15 minutes easily of the movie was all one shot. It was really well done.
Yeah, and it opens up, you get these great views of them, hovering above Earth in orbit. You just get to see all of Earth stretched out ahead of there. It is beautiful. It looks so good.
Beautiful. So what did you think of acting?
I thought it was really good. I mean, normally I'm not a big Sandra Bullock fan, though honestly the movies I've seen her in most of the time probably aren't the best showcase of her talent, but I thought she was really good.
I did too, yeah. She did play a very good role. She played, a very serious, scared.
Yeah, she was great at just panicking and freaking out,
very good
too.
panicking.
Very realistic
George
acting.
Clooney was very good for the parts, he was in. Actually, he played a pretty good astronaut.
Yeah, I thought he did a great job of it. So, this whole movie takes place in space. Most of it's just floating around in space. You were concerned before we saw that there was going to be a lot of issues with the pacing and stuff.
I did. I really thought there was going to be a big issue there, just because, you're thinking about there's two main characters, and you're in space. It could be a rough pacing movie. It wasn't at all. Very evenly paced.
And it got started right away in the beginning, too, which I liked.
Yeah, maybe just a little choppy at certain parts, but it wasn't bad scenes. It was just maybe you could have put this scene somewhere else. Yeah,
I felt like it could have flowed maybe a tiny bit better, but overall the pacing was spot on throughout the whole movie.
It was. I wasn't bored with it at all.
Yeah. Another one of the things I really liked in the movie was the soundtrack, too. And I mean, the music in the movie was really original, very different, not your everyday soundtrack. He worked in both electronic stuff and violins and choirs. It sounded really great, worked with the movie well. And in addition to there being a soundtrack, another thing that worked really well was the lack of sound, was that, anything you see out in space, there's no sound of any, the debris hitting things.
Yeah, again, and that kind of goes back to the realistic aspect of the movie. They really paid attention to fine detail to make sure that they got that movie spot on.
Right, yeah. A lot of thought definitely went into that to make it feel as convincing and realistic as possible.
They did, and they did an absolutely fantastic job with that, I think.
Yeah, it was really good.
The cinematography in the movie was excellent. Very well done. Great shots. Just great color. Amazing cinematography.
Yeah, I agree. One of the things they seemed to do a lot in the movie was that they were using these really long takes, and that's something that I know Alfonso Cuaron does a lot. He did it in Children of Men. He does it again here. It really helps kind of get you into the mind of the character and what's going on. He's a master. He does it really well. I honestly, though, one of the shots, there's a scene towards the end of the movie. You'll know which one I'm talking about. I don't want to give it away. It's some of the most beautiful cinematography I've seen ever. It's just the subject matter, it's done so well, you have to see it. It's just amazing to see.
It really is. Okay, now on to the dislikes.
I have none.
I have a lot. As far as, I kind of felt like it was just why did they make the movie? I just felt like there was no plot to it.
It had a plot. It had a clear. It was a plot, situational driven movie.
I accidentally fell asleep through it. I caught myself doing it. Where am I at?
You're overtired. It was a perfectly exciting movie.
I think they just wanted to show off the CGI and cinematography, which were amazing, but that's kind of feel why they made the movie.
I think the CGI and stuff was just there to supplement the story. I think it had a great story. The acting was fantastic. I think they did a good job.
Again, I agree with you there. It just felt like there was just a really big empty black hole, and it wasn't satisfying. There was nothing to fill it. why'd they make the movie? You know what? I would have woken up tomorrow morning perfectly happy if they didn't make this movie. So what would you give the movie a rating?
I would have to give it an A all the way. I mean, acting was an A, CGI was an A, pacing was an A, soundtrack was an A, plot was an A.
All that was an A. Just as far as like being entertained as a whole movie, it didn't do it at all.
I guess I was just so drawn into the movie that I was entertained throughout the
I want to give it a C, actually, but for the fact that the cinematography was very well done and the CGI, I'm going to go with the B.
It deserves an A, man.
No, it doesn't. I won't go see the movie again.
I would, honestly, just for the experience of it. It's a fantastic movie. I highly recommend it.
Well, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.
See you next week. Bye.
Bye.